To all the women who are constantly saying, where are all the good men at? I can't find any men that I'm attracted to. Why are there no attractive men in my area? I'm starting to think y'all are just lesbians. Like, you don't like men. If I went to 100 of the best cheeseburger restaurants and tried all of them and said, I didn't really like any of them, I probably just don't like cheeseburgers the same way that y'all probably just like women.
But one of the outcomes of the study was that when they surveyed married men and partnered men, they were like, they feel the reason why so many of them shut down or retreat from home duties is because their homes feel like failure factories. I think I might have said this to you before. Woo! Yeah. And when I know. And
that's so bad.
Especially because, so if you think about everything, all the things that we're talking about with regard to patriarchy and the system that it creates, it does create environments where women become the primary nurturers and caregivers in the home. And then that burden is placed onto us. And then we just enact that. And then all the frustrations that comes along with it. And so then when the helper, if you will, tries to come along, the dad, and it's like, okay, fine, I'll do these things. I'll give out and I'll give in. I'll do the necessary steps. Then it's like, move because you're not doing the right. Move because you don't do that right. Move because you don't do that right. And then it becomes like how am I supposed to function in this space? And then if we're taking the second layer to that is if patriarchy is such that it is, it also makes men feel as though they can't fail. And so then if they're in a space where it feels like a failure factory, I'm like, why would I?
So I'm reading this back and forth between her, the original poster here, and a woman in the comments. Basically, the original poster is saying, well, we want to try to give men the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're not using weaponized incompetence. And then sometimes, even if they are using weaponized incompetence, maybe they don't know. And the woman is saying, no, there's a few of them that don't know, but most of them know exactly what they're doing. We're giving them too much grace. And they're acting, just like children is essentially what they're doing. They know they're using weaponized incompetence, but they're doing it on purpose. And I wonder if you feel the same way when a man's coming to bed and he gets in the bed and, oh, I need a cup of water. Can you go to get it for me? Why didn't you ask me when I was in the kitchen? Oh, I need you to turn down the air condition. Why didn't you ask me before I got in the bed? Oh, while you're out, can you get a thing of milk? I wasn't going by the store. I was coming straight home. I'm kind of tired. Well, you're already out. Why can't you? You've been at home all day. As a matter of fact, you've had a chance to come home from work, take a nap, and then get up and then go to the store. I'm coming straight from home, from work. My brain is tired. I just want to come home and I want to rest. I want to relax before I have to get up and do other things. But I'm out running errands for you. Is that weaponized incompetence? Is that laziness? What do we call that? Oh, I don't think I want to drive. I'm just a girl. Oh, I can't drive. My man drives everywhere, girl, and that's how I like it. So I sit over in the passenger seat and put my feet up on the dashboard of a car that he just cleaned out. Is that weaponized incompetence? What is that? What do we call that? Because y'all have all of these answers for what men are doing, what men are acting like. But where are the answers for you guys?
There's an unspoken rule whenever you are out eating as a couple is that the girl always gets the booth side of the table and the boys get the chair side. Okay. I was at a restaurant on Saturday night with my boyfriend. There was 8 tables like that. Guess where all the girls were sitting? On the booth side. The guys were sitting in the chairs, except for this one table where the guy was an asshole to the server, sent food back. And guess where he was sitting? Booth side. He was sitting on the booth side. The girl was sitting in the chair. There is a science to this. If he takes the booth side, he is an asshole.
So you're saying the guy's a jerk because he sent food back? Yikes. Stop. Delete this video.
If you know that a lane is closed, but you continue to drive in it in order to get ahead of and cut in front of a bunch of other people because for some reason you think that your time is more valuable than anyone else, just know that I will wreck my car before I let you get in front of me.
Oh no, this lady's like single-handedly proving why some of us shouldn't have driver's licenses. For those of you that don't know, this is called a zipper merge, and it's actually safer, it's faster for everyone, and it makes more sense than backing up all in one lane. But she's not like the only one to think this way. This is why they actually will place signs, oftentimes way back before the merge, to say, please use both lanes, merge at the merge point. Also, to side with all of the logical thinkers out there, the lane isn't closed until it's closed. Now, from my own experience, I will most oftentimes just stay in the lane that's kind of backed up if I'm not in a huge rush. And then those that are in a huge rush or want to go faster, they can be in the fast lane.
Now, this is people disagreeing with him on this. They saying, listen, you merge early, traffic stays rolling. I gotta agree with him, M. I gotta agree. If you see that sign way back, it'd be one thing if you didn't. But these people see that sign way, way back there. They be shooting all the way up to the front of the line, and people be jamming on their brakes because they acting a fool. I'm sorry, sis. I gotta go with her. I gotta go with the op this time. But somebody in the comments says, in Germany, you are required by law to let people merge. Oh, well, after that, yeah. Well, yeah. If you gotta let them, then I get it. After analyzing data, it has also been proven that waiting until the end of the lane to merge lets everyone move faster than people merging or cutting in early. I don't know, man. I don't know.
What are you doing after this?
I'll probably just go home, feed my dog.
Oh, okay. Do you want to go to the bar after?
No, I don't think that's a good idea. I haven't fed my dog yet.
Fed your dog?
I need to go feed her.
Can you ask your roommate to feed your dog?
She's out of town right now.
Okay. What kind of dog is it? I want to meet her.
Oh, she doesn't eat guys.
What?
Is everything okay? You're like
good.
not talking
good.
anymore? Did I do something?
I mean, you didn't do anything. I mean, just typically when I go on a first date, like, I like to hang out with the person, you know, and all.
Oh.
Just get to know them. Things like typically, like, I only got to see you for dinner for maybe 45 minutes. And I just feel like it's my Friday, you know.
You know, of course, there are men in the comments, kind of coming to his defense, but it's always a beautiful thing to see women coming to his defense. One woman says, I think he just wanted to spend more time with you. I mean, it's really not that hard. Another woman said, yeah, you're actually being the weird one, not him. Thank you. These modern women be recording this stuff and putting this stuff out there as if the man is the issue. I'm looking here in the comments, hoping that this is like a skit. I'm thinking it's a skit. I'm hoping it's a skit somewhere. I don't see it, but maybe it's satire.
Here's what I don't understand. It's 2025. Why can't my car touch something? Why is it so bad that when my car taps something, the side caves in? What are we doing? What are we doing? Why aren't our best and brightest brains being put towards fixing that issue? You're telling me every time I tap another car in a parking lot, every time I back up into a wall or a pole or something of that nature, my entire car caves in and breaks. Why aren't they stronger? Why aren't they stronger? Why can't they touch things? Is this a stupid question? Like, so many things are so durable. Why can't cars be durable? Yes, this is coming from a girl who's put thousands of dollars into repairing her car after hitting things. Why don't they make cars out of the same stuff they make, like, planes out of? I don't know what planes are made out of, but I'm sure they're strong. I'm sure rocks in the sky are like, there's not rocks in the sky, but I'm sure things hit the planes. No, I'm sounding really stupid right now. I'm really smart, I swear.
So I used to believe in the rhetoric of men ain't until I really understood that women are the ones breeding ain't men. Excuse my language here, TikTok. Please don't take this down. And then I started to believe the rhetoric of women don't need men. And then I really, really understood the difference between a woman being in her masculine saying, I don't need a man, and a woman being in her true feminine saying, I don't need just any man. Like, I don't need a man. I'm good. I want the man. So there's a significant difference between a woman saying, I don't need a man, and the next woman saying, I don't need a man, because it's very, very easy to get on the unhealthy, toxic, masculine side of, I got it, independent miss, I can do it, trust me, I've been there. It's not healthy, it's not long lasting, it's not realistic, it's not ideal, it's not permanent, it's not like natural against what we were born to do. So if you are that woman right now who is in her hustler, I got it, sometimes it can literally propel you for the most amazing, best opportunities of your life, which is as a woman feels amazing. But please be careful not to get to that cautiously dangerous zone of, I got it, I don't need a man, and I'm so good on not needing a man that I'm not understanding that I'm now operating more manly than I naturally need to be. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I'm going to actually post this because this is super vulnerable for me, and I'm a pretty open person. But earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce.
I'm gonna stop it right there. Just to sum up the rest of the video, she explains how she's married to one of the greatest men on earth. If you look at her in the video, her nails are done, nice ring on her finger, she's sitting in a nice car. I think she's a stay-at-home mom. The husband isn't some fat loser who's out of shape. Look at him. Good looking guy. If he goes to the gym, I want her to know, this is just a side note, the women are trying to eat him alive. I want you to know that. If he goes to a gym, the women love him, especially if he wears his wedding ring. That's neither here nor there. She goes on to explain how he's an excellent, and that's really the only reason she's still there, because he's a great dad, a great husband, a great person. And if you just keep listening to the dribble that comes out of her mouth, she's just bored. They've been married for 10 years, a decade of shared experience. And she's always been looking for something their entire relationship that hasn't been there. And she's sharing this with us on social media. There's something I noticed. There's a very specific genre of white woman on TikTok. They love to embarrass their husbands. Look. Oh, no. He's a great guy. Stays in great shape. Great with the kids. Pays the bills. But I'm just letting y'all know that I told him the other day I wanted a divorce because it's just something ain't there.
Like I was saying, and I didn't even see the video of them jogging together. I didn't care to look at that, to be honest. I just heard what she said, and then she made a follow-up video of that. Still talking reckless. Still refused to take it down. Talking about, oh, I showed him this and I showed him that. Still gonna talk reckless. People, I've told you, stay offline with that nonsense. It's embarrassing. You can't. When modern women make up their mind to do something wrong, they're gonna do it.
You met her at the bar. You know, she gave you her number. She seemed somewhat interested. You started texting her. For 2 weeks, you're putting in work. She's not the best texter. You're carrying the conversation, but you asked her out and she agreed to a date. You're hype. You tell your boys. You ask them where you should take her. They recommend a spot that's cool but not too pricey. Boom. Date night comes around. You pick her up. She looks good. You take her to the spot. She's never been there before. She doesn't know what to order. Doesn't matter. When she gets her food, she doesn't eat much. She claims she's not really hungry. She probably just doesn't want to eat in front of you. The date's going well though. She's laughing at your jokes. The conversation isn't boring. She seems like she's having a good time. The dinner's coming to an end. You're getting nervous. You don't know if you should invite her over, if she's gonna invite you over. What's the next move? You ask her what she's doing after this. She says she's tired. She's got work in the morning, but she'd love to hang another time. You're cool with that answer. She gets a to-go box. You pay for her meal. You take her home. You pull up to her crib. You get out the car, run around and open her door. She thanks you for the date, gives you a hug, and says, text me when you get home safe. You think that's the end of the night. You're going home with a smile on your face. Little do you know, she just texted me, what you doing, with the eye emoji. I told her I was chilling. She said, you should come over. I said, bet, give me 30. I pull up to her crib, knock on her door. She lets me in. She's trying to take me straight to the bedroom. I tell her I'm low-key kind of hungry. You got any snacks? She offers me her leftovers from the dinner you paid for. I like that place. You picked a good spot. I put the food in the microwave, warm it up. I'm devouring that shit, asking her how the date went. She said you were cool, but not her normal type. I asked her what's her normal type. She said me. I laugh. I'm done eating. It's time to do what I came here for. And I do exactly that. 1, 2, maybe 3 times. It's getting late though. She asked me if I wanted to stay tonight. I'm good. I get up, get dressed. She walks me out. Boom, I'm headed home. She goes back to her room, checks her phone. She sees a text from you. Hey, got home safe. She likes the message. She texts you back. Had a really good time tonight. Can't wait to do it again. Winky emoji. You go to sleep with a smile on your face. I go to sleep with a smile on my face. She goes to sleep with a smile on her face. That's what I call a team win.
Y'all seem really sad. Y'all should figure this out. Oh, yeah? Y'all should mentally move on to December, I think. What do you do for a living?
Wait. No, not November. How about
you get paid a year?
Deep December?
Oh, what is that?
Deep December.
Does he go deep enough?
No comment.
That's a no. You need to rethink your whole life.
Somebody come and look at this. Look at this.
The men really revealed themselves in the last video that I made, and this is one of the comments that I wanted to reply to. And you know what, kings, actually some of these single moms are the queens, because a lot of these single moms were actually a praying wife that a husband that put on a mask of a good husband was actually a cheating husband. And all of the nasty comments, I can handle them, but it really revealed how much of a not compassionate, unloving world you guys actually live in, because all of that revealed to me that what you are is what you attract. You putting women, single moms, into such a negative aspect that it really revealed how messed up and unhealed you are. And let me tell you something. The comments about her being a car and all of this mileage on her, actually, she might have only been with that one man, versus if you take a single woman, now those are the mileage that you should be counting, not the single mom, because the single mom was probably a loyal wife for many, many years. So actually the mileage on that is actually pretty low.
Keep on telling you guys I am in the wrong business. Christian dating coach. Glow up course. $149 a year. $12 a month. She got 7 members. 7 members. She's making $1,000 a year off of memberships. An extra almost $90 as a Christian dating coach. How? Dang, I'm in the wrong business.
I saw something that said, fathers prepare you for husbands. And I have to say, I agree with that statement, because when you think about it, most women today weren't raised with a father in the home. So when a man does set expectations, it feels like slavery or control. But it's not even control, it's structure, it's protection, and it's masculine leadership. We want the fairy tale of a man that'll do everything while we just sit back and look pretty. Because we were taught to judge a man based off what he can provide. It's not a partnership. When there's a father in the home, a father teaches the daughter how to treat a man and how a man is supposed to treat a woman. And he teaches his son how to treat a woman and how to be a man. And if you did grow up in the house with your father, and your father wasn't no pushover, no simp, no yes man, then you know that whatever dad said goes. You knew being questioned by a man wasn't disrespect. It was love, it was order, it was correction. So many of us come from a home where our mamas did everything and our daddies was just gone. So now when a man holds us accountable, we confuse that with toxicity. We confuse protection with control. But the protection that a father gives is different than the protection that a mother gives. One is structural, one is emotional. But if you never saw a man leading without being abusive, how could you even trust a man to lead?
I want to live a certain lifestyle, but I refuse to deal with the man who don't come home. Like, if I'm gonna be married, oh baby, you gotta come home. You gonna help me raise these kids. So at this point, I will not deal with a man who in his future, he sees himself working until the day he died. No. And I'm like, okay, I probably am going to have to contribute to the household income, which I think I just came to the terms that I just have to accept that. To live the type of lifestyle that I want to live, I probably don't have to contribute. So we got to make some shade.
She said in the comments, let me clarify, I'm not even talking about vacation. I'm not even talking about, start there. I'm not even talking about vacations, dinners, size of home. LOL, I'm more so talking about nannies and chefs. Nannies and chefs? You guys, y'all do know that having an in-house chef is not a necessity in life. You know that, right? Y'all be trying to live a life that you really don't have to. You really don't need to. Oh, I've come to the realization that I'm going to have to work in order to get this lifestyle. What were you thinking?
You know, at the end of the day, men need women and women need men. End of story. I know a lot of women be hurt because of the shit men has done to them throughout the course of their life, and it's all like, fan, like, oh man, blah, 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 blah. I understand you're upset and you're angry and you're traumatized and you never want to be with a man ever again. That's totally fine. But to say that women do not need men could not be further from the truth, bro. You need a father figure in your home for your children. You need someone to build these trains. You need someone to build this. You need someone to protect you. You need them. We need them. It don't matter how much we're hurt, bro. As much as we are traumatized by some men in this world, we do need men. It sucks to say for you guys. I don't have to. It doesn't suck for me. But not for nothing, this gotta stop. It has to stop. There's little boys looking at grown-ass women in their 30s, in their 40s, late 20s, blah, 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 talking about kill all men, I hate all men, we don't need any men. Like, that just crushes a little boy's spirit. And it doesn't make them want to do better. It makes them want to be exactly how you're portraying all men to be. Yes, a lot of men are... So are a lot of women. A lot of women are too. Two play the same game. We're in 2025 already. When are y'all gonna pack it up and just realize we both need each other? No matter how bitter women are, no matter how bitter men are, we both need each other. End of story. Because men can't do things that women do, and women can't do things that men do. That's it.
I was waiting on someone to comment this because I didn't want to be the one to just call it out, because this is the truth. We have a lot of black women in this world who hate men so much or just hate people regardless. You know, it's just a human thing, but they just don't like people to the point where they have young black daughters and they are jealous of their young black daughters because they're not like them, as in miserable, bitter, traumatized, etc. And you want to know what's the sick part about those type of stories, or, you know, this type of situation? They put their daughters in positions to be SA'd, and it be by the men that, you know, they claim that they can't stand, or the men that are so ancient. Y'all be picking these ancient and not only be with y'all because they be looking at y'all women, y'all daughters sometimes as women. And it's like you get jealous of your daughter instead of protecting your daughter from a predator. But you so delusional, so goddamn delusional. You be delusional as hell to thinking that, oh, if I allow my boyfriend or whatever the want to be to you to do whatever to your daughter, because you don't love yourself, you think he gonna stay with you? And then the second she get 18, it's either she gotta go or I'm gonna go. If the wife don't already know, or the baby mama don't know about it going on, when she hit 18, then the man be like, oh, your daughter gotta go because she too much of a woman and I'm a man and I can't control myself. What? Are you dumb or stupid? Like, this is how this always happens. And it's like, Tyler Perry is the man making this type of normal.
The guy in the comments said, I met a woman that asked me if I would give her daughter a massage. I said no, and she got offended. I blocked her immediately.
Bro said about men, they don't just show up at 30, right? Right. Oh my goodness, this is such a good comment. The only thing that changes when a woman hits 30 and then all of a sudden she's able to find good men, the only thing that changes is her. She's the only thing. Her priorities become straight once she hits 30, and then all of a sudden, all these good men pop up, and they're like, "Oh, this nice man here, and oh, he treats me so nice at 30." All of a sudden, now you can see the nice men because you realize, hey, I need to lock in. I'm 30. I ain't got nobody. I've talked to all these dudes, and I have nothing to show for it. The only thing that changed was the woman's mindset once she hits 30, and then she starts to notice nice men around her. But you had nice men when you were a teenager. At the time you were boys because you were a teenager. You had nice men when you were in your 20s. You had nice men all through that. But he gave, like I said, he gave you the ick. He was weird. He was too nice. I don't know. He's just too nice. I don't know. He was too nice to you. He was too invested in you. So you have to go find a dude who was a little bit more cool, a little bit more swaggy. He wasn't that invested in you. You was worried about when you was going to get your next text from him. Those were the type of men that they was going after when they was 20. All of a sudden they're 30 with no children, no husband, no family. All these dudes have been with them and left them. They're like, oh my goodness, what's going on? I got nothing to show for all these dudes that I've been with. Okay, time to lock in. You know, that guy right there has a decent job. He's nice. Now he's visible to you. But that same man, just maybe 5 years ago when you was 25, was completely invisible because you wanted to go mess with Leon with the Switch on Instagram. Or Zay Moneybags or something. That's who you was into. You wasn't into Christopher. Christopher, who works in accounting. He wasn't into bro.
When Mr. Get It Done won't take no for an answer. Motivated, dedicated, I thought I told ya. Oh my God, baby, don't get electrocuted. Woo. We about to start doing the moonwalk. Do it for Little Saint.
Let me read some comments. That man don't want to be in the house at all. At all in caps. Somebody says that man is going through something, girl. Somebody else says there were signs. The signs. Somebody says, is he okay? Like, seriously, because he's not even laughing at your jokes. Another dude said he can't wait to deploy again. Somebody said the grass don't even need to be cut. Somebody said he wants to be away from you so bad. He said, bro cutting grass in the rain and you still won't leave him alone. A woman said common sense left the chat. Man, trying to get something done.
Real talk, this could be a hot topic. Let's talk about divorce and money. I've noticed that many men, late 30s all the way up, have become very cynical, angry, jaded after going through the divorce process. And it really has me thinking about my own situation, really why to all of it. I was married for 23 years. I was a stay-at-home mom for 13 of those years. In those 13 years, I did not put money towards my retirement. I did not have career growth in those 13 years. The income potential lost in those 13 years. And my husband was military, so we followed his career and I supported him in all of our moves and all of that. No issue. And fast forward, when my youngest started kindergarten, I decided to go back to work and I started baseline, basically ground zero, starting fresh, and have had to take the time to grow my career again. And it's taken a long time. I'm 16 years in now and I'm at a great place, but I could be so much higher if I'd never left my career. When we got a divorce, we live in a state that everything is divided 50-50. That was not an easy pill for my partner to swallow. Based on observation of here on TikTok and through conversations with friends in my singles group, he's not alone in that. And it really boggles my mind as to why that is. So I'm really curious, will you guys leave your stories, your comments, your questions about this? This includes men and women. Ladies, did you experience this through your divorces or conversations when you're meeting people, when you're dating? I've met so many men that are jaded. And men, I know you're feeling this, and I hope that you guys don't come at me because I really am curious. To me, 50-50 is fair. No shade.
Like somebody in the comments said, the courts have always been unfair towards men. So you can't blame the anger. My wife walked away, cohabitated, submitted false financial affidavit, lied to the judge about being in another relationship, yet I had to pay her attorney's fees. Yeah, that does suck. Actually, to be honest with you. Another man says, I can't put a price tag on what a stay-at-home mom deserves. It's invaluable. God forbid I get divorced, but if I do, I would want her to get half of everything. Fair point. If she's bringing some value to the relationship, that would make sense. Somebody said it's financial theft on top of the fact that many men felt she ruined the marriage in the first place and shouldn't have as much custody. It's layered. And then a couple of guys, and this is really what I wanted to get to, said, I guess it depends on who initiates the divorce and the reason for it. And that's what it comes down to for most men. Why are you initiating the divorce? We already know, statistically speaking now, about 70-80% of the time, a woman is initiating the divorce. It's even higher if she's college educated, right? So women nowadays are walking out of relationships. I mean, I think in the same compilation, John was talking about a video that's been covered over and over again, where a woman is 32 now. She's got, quite honestly, in my opinion, a beautiful family. She looks very put together. John suggested she might be a single mother. A stay-at-home mom. I can't confirm that. But the point is, her husband's not a slob. He stays in shape. You know, in one of the videos, he's running with the stroller in front of him, so he's very active in the kid's life. Not only that we can see in the video, but from what she said, from what she told us, we can see that. We can see that he's a very active dad. He's a very active husband. And by her own admission, he's the perfect guy. He's a good husband. But I just feel like whatever she feels like. And when a man can dump that much investment into a relationship, and then the woman at the end of 10, 15 years can just sit up there and say, well, you know, I'm just not feeling it. I'm gonna go my own way. At that point, men are like, well, you shouldn't be able to take half of the money just because you want to go do something else. You shouldn't be able to like ruin somebody just because you're not happy. I shouldn't have to suffer because you're not happy. I shouldn't have to pay you alimony because you're not happy. Some of these ladies are blowing up their husbands' lives. Oh, the divorce came out of nowhere. It really did. Because it's funny that you say that, because a woman was on here talking about, well, after a year and a half, he just left and he said, you know, he just really didn't love me. And how can a man do that? How can somebody do that to any person? And woe is me. And I don't doubt that you're feeling any pain. But when a man breaks up and leaves a woman, then it's a man's fault. A man catches the brunt of it. But when a woman does it, she's empowered. She was supposed to do that. Oh, he was probably a jerk and he probably deserved it. That type of nonsense. It's always falling on the man. That's why they want to keep what is theirs, because it's going to take me time to recover, while you have friends, family, people that you don't even know. Sometimes there's been cases, my God, sometimes there's been cases where the person knew the husband, but was trash the husband and then go help the wife. What? You're supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to be, and we're not picking sides. It's just like, you've known me for longer. You know who I am. Literal decades. You've only known her for like a couple of years, and you don't really even know her. You see her sparingly. Maybe when she comes to church, or maybe you've seen her in passing at the grocery store or around town randomly, but you don't really know her. Why are you helping her? That's why men are saying it's unfair. And I'm not talking about your situation, because maybe it was different. Maybe that's what you deserved. You needed a little help. I was supporting my husband. We were going across the country. He had to move. I was right there with him. Yada, yada, yada. There are a lot of men that would say, yeah, I get it. You know, I appreciate you supporting. We just went our separate ways. But when you just decide, going back to that quote, a man will, sacrifice his happiness for his family, but a woman will sacrifice her family for her happiness. That's what a lot of men are thinking. Why did you leave the man? What did he do wrong? If a man does something, or if a woman does something, a man is expected to stay there and work it out. But if it's a woman that does something, you know what? I'm going to have to get up out of here. Forgiveness. You know, I'm not going to be doing none of that. If he does something wrong to me, I got to get up out of here. I ain't taking that. But if I do something to him, he better stay here, fight for the relationship, work it out. Men are getting screwed in some of these situations left and right. And doesn't seem like anybody's taking a lot of notice of that. Comment here says, married in 2013. Both of us are RNs. First child in 2015. She asked to be a stay-at-home mom. I worked 20 hours overtime per hour agreement for 4.5 years. After our second child, she went back to work and made more than me. I caught her cheating. We divorced and split assets.
So I never really talk about the flip stuff that women have done to me over the years, just because I feel like it really pales in comparison to the things that men have done to me. And also I like to give women just a little bit more grace than I give men, because I feel like everyone does stuff every once in a while and like whatever, it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. However, okay, with the man that I was dating in Ohio, for the first couple of weeks that we were dating, he tells me, hey, just so you know, if you ever see this name pop up on my phone, it is my ex. And like, she does text me sometimes, we're still kind of friends, but like he gives me this whole spiel about how she had a bad childhood, she doesn't have any friends, she's going through a really hard time, she always going through a hard time, she struggles with her mental health, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, and so I'm kind of her only like emotional support right now. He was like, but she knows that we're dating, so like, I don't think she's going to cross any lines. And he was like, you know, I think she's kind of talking to someone else too. So like, once he starts giving her more consistent attention, she'll probably start to fade out and like, I won't have to talk to her anymore. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, does she ever like cross any lines, or do you have any boundaries that are weird? Because he told me that his other ex made him block her. So he was like, you know, if you want me to block her, I totally can, but like, I just want to give you a heads up, like, this is who it is. And she texts me a lot. And I was like, well, why would your other ex want you to block her if she's not like crossing any lines? He was like, oh, I don't know, like sometimes she can be a little inappropriate, or she just kind of like, she doesn't really know like what she should and shouldn't be sending, so I just have to tell her like, hey, you can't send that. And I was like, I don't really love that. And if she ever sends you anything that you think is like inappropriate or like crossing a line, since we're in a relationship, because mind you, like I said, it was COVID time, so like accelerate everything times 30. Like we've been talking for like 2 or 3 weeks, but it felt like 3 or 4 months, right? And he was like, yeah, I totally, like if she ever sends anything appropriate, I'll shut her down and I'll tell you about it, and like I won't keep the friendship going, right? I'm like, okay, perfect. Fast forward probably like a month, and a bunch of my friends decided we were going to get an Airbnb for the weekend that had a hot tub, and I invited him to go, and I'm like, I'll pay for you and everything, whatever, no big deal. So we get to the hot tub, and he was being a little bit weird throughout the night, but like whatever, I didn't think too much of it. The next day, he had implemented an open phone policy, right? Just prefacing with this, he told me there will never be anything in my phone that you can't see. You can go through my phone whenever you want. I don't have a passcode, da 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 da. So we're sitting in his room, and I noticed that she's texting him and texting him and texting and texting. Like her name is popping up a lot. And he clicked on one of the texts, and it was so long that it opened up into the notes app paragraph. And he was like, oh, I'll look at this later. I'm like, why is she texting you so much? Like, that is crazy. So a little bit later, he's like in the shower, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go through his phone, because like this is getting a little weird, right? So I opened his messages with her, and everything was deleted. Why would you delete it if it's not inappropriate, right? Like, what do you mean? Why is everything deleted? So I'm like, you know, but it's not deleted on his Apple Watch. So I go on his Apple Watch. Sure enough, all the messages are there. And when he told her, she specifically said, what are you up to tonight? And he was like, oh, I'm going to a hot tub with Sydney and a bunch of her friends. And she said, oh, remember our sexy hot tub times? No, but no one was thinking about that. Why would you bring that up when he said, I'm going with my girlfriend and her friends to hang out, and your response is, remember when we found a hot tub? Wrong answer. So he gets out of the shower, and I confront him. I'm like, hey, I saw this. And he was like, oh, I don't even know. Like, I don't think I saw that. Like, if it wasn't in my phone. I said, it was in your Apple Watch. You didn't know it was in your Apple Watch, but it was in there. And he was like, oh, yeah, no, maybe she did send me that. I'm like, you know what else she sent you? So many inappropriate messages, and also a link to adult content that I didn't even click on, because what if it was her? I don't want to see that. Because he told me that she was like a cam girl back in the day, which no shade, do what you want to do. But like, if you're sending that to him now, what the f wrong with you? So I didn't want to click on it. And I'm like, why is she even sending you that in the first place? He's like, oh, she's probably just trying to like kind of seduce me. Like, she's jealous that I'm getting a girlfriend. Like, I don't know. She kind of does this sometimes. Like, I'll just block her. I'm like, yeah, you're going to block her. He was like, I will. I said, we're going to do it right now. So we went onto the living room, and I said, you're going to block her on every device that you have, every form of social media. You're going to go through everything and block her on everything, because that is not cool. That's not okay. And like, she cannot contact you again. He's like, she's going to be really upset when I block her. I said, I'm really upset. Do you think I give a blocker? So he goes through, he blocks her and everything. I'm like, okay, great. Literally within 2 minutes, she is sending him an email like on his Mac, came through, and it was like, why the f are you blocking me? I said, she knows why the f you're blocking her. She should know, right? He's like, no, she definitely knows that she crossed a line, because I didn't respond to her, and like she texted me again and was like, it was just a joke, but like I didn't reply, and that's why I just deleted everything, because I figured it would just be easier to like not have it there since I wasn't responding to her. I said, well, I don't like that. I don't like it one bit. Okay, fast forward probably like 3 or 4 months, he gets a text from a random number, and he's like, I think this is her, like this is kind of how she texts it, just so that she's hope I'm doing well. I'm gonna delete it and block this number, and like won't happen again. I was like, okay, don't love that, but thank you for telling me, and like blocking it, just ignore her, whatever. A couple more months go by. She texts him again, middle of the night. Hope you're doing well. Same emojis, same everything. I said, oh, I'm gonna lose my mind, right? So I go on Instagram and I message her, and I'm like, hey, don't do this. Like, literally stop talking to him. And I write this like mini message just being like, she's obviously not going to listen to you when you tell her to stop. So like, I hope that she will listen to me and be like, oh, she's bad. And he read it, and he was like, honestly, I think she's gonna think this is funny. Like, you need to make it a little bit more harsh. And I'm like, okay, like what? And he's like, make it a little bit more personal. He takes my phone, he writes out this paragraph. That is mean us. It sounded like he was like, I'm not making it too personal. Like, it's some stuff like, it's stuff that you wouldn't have anyway, like you would know, like maybe I would have shared with you. So it's not like anything crazy. It's stuff that she like tells her friends about, but at the same time, like, it'll be mean enough and like personal enough that she'll be like, oh, like he's talking shit about me, so
she'll want to stop talking to me. Like, she won't reach out again. And I was like, do you think I need to be this mean? Because like some of the stuff he said was like really up. And he was like, honestly, it's the only way that she's gonna stop is if you're like really funny to her. So I was like, okay, fine. So I send the message, block her and everything, whatever. Don't think anything of it. Probably like a month later, we're about to move in together into our own apartment because I was already kind of like living in his apartment, and we were like testing out living together before we actually signed a lease. We signed a lease together. We're literally on the brink of moving in, and guess who texts him again? Middle of the night. I'm livid. So then I text her from whatever new number that she was using, and I'm like, hey, stop this. She don't even know what I said. Send her something mean as like, don't do this. And she was like, oh, your boyfriend, like one of the hundreds of men in my DMs who's just always messaging me and I don't reply to, LOL. I said, no, the one that you text in the middle of the night and say, hope you're doing well. That's who. She's like, oh, my bad. Like, sorry, I was just checking in. I'm like, yeah, fuck you, right? Okay. That's the last time I ever had contact with this girl, with me just basically going off on her. I don't like her. Don't like her one bit, okay? Don't like him one bit either. Obviously, he is to blame for like not taking control of the situation, but also like, ew, just ew, right? Anyways, fast forward to literally just a couple of months ago. Guess who was going through my TikToks and liking from 3 years ago? Videos from 3 years ago that I was making about that breakup with that man. She is just liking a couple of months ago. And it wasn't to be like, solidarity, sister, like I also went through this. No, it was like the ones where I was like literally visibly having a breakdown, and she was like liking them to like laugh at me. And I know the specific ones that she was liking, I could tell, because obviously like the videos that pop up, I'm like, those haven't been liked in literally years, right? So it's weird to see like that video on my notification, and they were very specific ones where it was like she was liking them to laugh at me and to be like, haha, yeah, this is what you get for going through that, whatever. No, fuck you. So now she's blocked here too. Like, this bitch just like unblockable.
And I can't understand why, if y'all know this about women, that y'all wouldn't think that women are out here moving like this in the dating world. Like, it couldn't possibly be their fault when a relationship ends, and it's all a man's fault if y'all know women are moving like this.